Hey guys, it's SEUS V11 here, and today I'm going to be showcasing the Sonic Eva's Unbelievable Shaders version 11. Now I thought this would be a great idea to do, to showcase what it's like currently in 2019, their performance and everything, so yeah, how about we get into it. Now, as you are able to hear, the surroundings are different from stock Minecraft. I've actually got a dynamic surroundings mod. I'll leave a link in the description. I've also got a different resource pack on, which is the faithful 32x32, along with this shader pack, which I'll also be linking because I'm a nice guy. Now, how about we actually get into what this looks like? And as you can see, just panning around, it's pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is actually go to the water's edge around here. As you can see, it looks quite realistic. Now as we go out here, we can see that it's not ray traced, but it does look very good. You see these ray tracing shaders, which this is not. They have huge detrimental performance, but this Sonic Eva's on high settings works pretty well. Now I'd recommend something like a quad core CPU, a 1060, that kind of stuff to run this on maximum settings as well with this shader. So yeah, that's what I'd choose, that's what I've got. It's definitely a playable experience. Now we can see the water, as I said, looks really nice. How about we go under? Okay, so it's actually quite murky. Instead of like the ray trace shaders, they actually have shadows and reflections under the water, but this does not. But still, compared to stock Minecraft, this looks absolutely amazing. Now, I may as well walk around this area, look at all the shading. Now, as I said, I'm only on the high setting. There is an extreme setting which turns up the shaders, turns up the density of the clouds up there as well. We've also got the shadows from the sheep that are actually more detailed than all the crops. And then we've also got my figure as well. And we can also see the tree shader from the sun is reflecting over here. It's slowly moving across the tree as well because of the leaf density on top, which is really nice. We can also see around here that this is casting a shadow from the leaves itself over here, over the water as well. So as you can see, it's pretty nice. And we can also see the shadow over the mountain cliff from the sun, and that casting from that top area there going down there. It's really a good shader pack. If you are able to download it and run it, I'd recommend it. That's why I'm doing a video on it, to showcase it. Now we can actually see the tree shadows in the water, as we can see here. We've got the shadow of the trees over there. We've got the sun reflecting down at this part of the day, so that is really nice. As you can see at my performance, it's just hitting 60 FPS on the best of times. Now I am running at a 16 render distance as well, but I don't have other things on, like other higher end resource packs. But for today, Faithful is on. It's a FPS boosting resource pack. If you haven't seen my video on it, card annotation up on the screen. But yeah, how about we talk a bit more about this shader. Okay, so as we can see, the shadows being cast over the village. We can see that the sun reflects over here. Oh god, there's a zombie villager. Oh, bummer. Sorry, you're gonna have to die before you infect other people. No. Oh, he died. Okay. Oops. Sorry. Anywho, how about instead of just looking around, we'll go into the settings of the shader pack and show what you can do and the performance changes. Okay, so we've got our video settings. As you can see, 16 distance. Shaders right here. You can see I've got other shaders like Chocopic, but SEUS really is the most detrimental on your performance. For example, if I'm checking my performance on the GTX 1060 I've got installed, it's running around 90% usage. So if you had a better graphics card like an RTX 2070, you would see this shader pack boost way higher in FPS. Now we can see with this specific shader pack, we've got anti-aliasing, the map, specular map, render quality, which increases the render quality even further, shadow quality even higher, so it's better than you can see. Hand depth, simple, old hand light, that's basic, old lighting off, because we've got a shader pack installed, we don't want the older lighting. But we've also got the shader option tab down here. Now we can see here we're on the high profile. We've got the low version, the medium version, the high version I was on, the ultra version, which increases quality of the density of shadows, clouds, and then we go to extreme and it goes even higher. But this is really, really detrimental on performance compared to the other versions. Now we've got atmospheric options. We can see around here, we've got atmospheric scattering. As you can see, it's the blue tint of the distant objects. We've got the haze as well. We've got the volumetric clouds, smooth clouds, atmospheric density. I'm not going to pronounce that. I don't know how to. I'm sorry. We've got HQ volumetric clouds as well. So this is the high density of clouds. Okay, we've got surface options. We've got the texture resolution, which is 128 for the shader. We've got the parallax self shadows. We've got the water parallax, the occlusion mapping, the wet effects. So when it rains, the ground is wet and reflects. It looks quite good. And we've got water caustics as well. How about we check out the lighting? We've got the shadow resolution, so it's 4096 at the current moment. Soft shadows, I've turned them off. They're default off. Colored shadows are on. Global illumination. We've got average exposure. Motion blur, I do turn this on, but it makes it look worse at lower frame rates I've seen. We've got the exposure multiplier, the shadow distance, the penumbra shadows, pixel locked shadows. There's a lot here. We've got screen space, ambient occlusion. We've got touch light brightness, tone map curve, bloom strength. And I think we've only got these more left. So the advanced GI settings, as you can see right here. And that is basically it. Now for this, I'm going to actually leave it on ultra, because if I put it on extreme, we'd be in some big trouble with the frame rate. We'd be hitting over 30 FPS, but I'm just not happy with that. Now as we walk around, it does look good, I have to admit. I will show nighttime as well, but for now, actually, how about we turn the rain on? Weather, rain. Here we go, here comes the rain you've all been waiting for. Okay, so what I've just done is have no rain effects, but the ground is wet. Now this actually makes it easier for me to be able to see the ground effects. You can see it's all wet. We get the reflection of the trees and the leaves as well. You can see the shadows of the sheep. This is not ray tracing, but this is pretty good for what you get, I have to admit. Now we can actually see some torches over there. We can see the villagers in the reflection as well. We've got the torchlight, as you can see right there. Just that very minimal amount of torchlight. And we can also see that the dirt has a really nice sheen effect to it, even if it's normal dirt or solid grass. No effects on the animals, but yeah, that'd be a bit more harsh on the performance. But this is kind of like a foggy haze with wet ground. Wait a sec, it's getting even darker. Oh wow. Okay. So now it's wet ground and dark. Yep, so we can see that the torches are reflecting off. This is almost ray tracing, to be honest. Look at that. See, there we go. There's the reflection. And we can go in and see the torch effect of it illuminating all these blocks around here. And also, yeah, it's just become nighttime, so it's a bit darker. I may have to change this. Okay, that's a bit better. Now we can actually see. Okay, well, how about instead of destroying this village, how about we go onto a city map? Yeah, a city map. Okay, here we are on a city map with the buildings loading in as well. Now you can see the shadows casting off the cobwebs as well. We can see that glass is quite different too. Look at this. This is quite different. It's more of a wet looking effect compared to other shaders I see. Now you can see this is actually all glass on the edge as well. It's not the smoothest glass you'll see because that's how this shader pack actually makes it. Now we're coming into a building with the shaders on. You can see that it's not the craziest shading. It changes by block, not by specific part of the block itself, but it still does a good job. Okay, so we can see around here, this is what the glass looks like a bit more closer up. So you can see it's a lot different. Now what I think I'll actually do is get out of here and actually turn down the shaders, because I want to show you the difference between using low and using extreme. Okay, so we are on the lowest option of SEUS, and we can see that I'm getting a quite good frame rate compared to what it was before. But yeah, it's a bit better on your performance. It's still the same shaders, but just turned down a little bit. Now we can see there are different effects. It's not as glassy look of the shader pack on the low version. We've got less cloud density. There's other things that are actually missing as well. But for now, how about we actually go on to the next version, which is the medium. Now, this looks more like a proper shader. It's got a really different color and contrast. You can see by the sun. Oh, that was bright. Sorry. Everything is a bit more colorful. It looks a whole lot better. It's almost like the highest version of SFLP or Chocopic, I think. Chocopic's slightly different at these graphical settings, but yeah. How about we go to high? Now you can see it looks a bit more refined as well on the high version. This is what I was using for most of the time before. It has a slight decrease in shadow quality compared to the higher ones, and also, as I said, the cloud density. But for most people who want to run this shader, this is the best one to use. Now what I think I'm actually going to do is go on to Ultra, and we'll go on from there. Okay, so here we are, and you'll probably see a little bit of performance degradation at this point. We can see the clouds, a bit more luscious if you call them that, but they're a bit more thick with two C's. It's also a bit better shadow quality as well, as I've said it would be, and it's also becoming nighttime. How about we actually put it to full nighttime and have a look at all the lighting? Okay, so it is becoming nighttime, and we can see that it's really becoming a really nice glow from the sea lanterns and the streets as well. Look at this. How about that? This is looking pretty nice, I have to say. Yeah, this looks pretty good, I have to say right now. I'm pretty happy with it. Now what I'm going to do is actually switch over to the extreme version, which will also be in night and will probably be even worse FPS. Okay. Okie dokie, so as everything loads in, we can see we are already under 60 FPS. So yeah, this shader, especially this version, is very, very detrimental. So if you're running on a potato, do not run the extreme setting. It will make you lag like hell. But yeah, that's about it for this video of me showcasing the Sonic Eva's unbelievable shaders. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making this video, showcasing it, because I hardly saw videos of it actually on YouTube, as I said. So yeah, I wanted to get a video out, and here we are. So I'll end it here. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more videos like this with shaders on Minecraft, because it is one thing I do enjoy doing. So yeah, I'll see you guys later, and peace.